Hello students, today we are going to start the second unit, that is arrays. In previous lectures we have studied some basic concepts of data structure and algorithms. It is important to choose the right data structure because it affects the efficiency of the program. As we have defined earlier, that data structure can be linear or non-linear. In a linear data structure, the elements stored in a sequence or in a line. In this unit, we will study an important linear data structure, that is arrays. We will first look at an array as an abstract data type. Now what is abstract data type? As an array, the primitive data types in a language like integer, float, character, etc. are capable of storing only a single value at a time. But we need to store many elements together as a group. For example, if we have to store n elements, the n number must be stored and be treated as a group, and we have to compare to arrange them in a required order. This will be very difficult if the numbers are stored as independent elements. So an array stored elements as a single group, hence it is easier to access and perform various operations on them. Definition of arrays. An array is a finite ordered set of homogeneous elements. Now, what do you mean by finite? Finite means there are specific number of elements in an array. Means there is a limit to store elements into the array. The array elements should be finite. Then ordered means the elements are arranged so that there is the first element, second element, and so on. And homogeneous means all the elements are of the same type. Type means of same data type. Array representation. As mathematically, an array can be considered as a set of pairs of index and values. For each index, it is an associated value. This means that there is one-to-one mapping or corresponding between the set of indexes and set of values. These arrays can be declared in various ways in different languages. For example, let's take a C array declaration. In this example, we have declared an integer array of total 5 elements. So int is the data type, array is the name of that array, 5 in square brackets represents the size of the array, and it is initialized with the 5 elements in curly brackets. The elements are 35, 33, 42, 10 and 14. In next diagram, we have represented the array with its index and value. The first element is 35, whose index is 0. The second element is 33, whose index is 1. Third element is 42 with index 2. Fourth element is 10 with index 3, and the fifth element is 14, which have the index 4. So the size of this array is 5 total with 5 elements. Index starts from 0 to 4. Array operations. We can perform various operations on arrays. Like first we have to create the array. This operation will create a new array. This operation contains the information like the type of the data elements and the number of data elements to be stored. Then we can traverse the whole array elements, that is, we can print all the array elements one by one. Insertion. Insertion means we can add an element at the given index. Deletion. In that we can delete an element at a given index. Search. We can search an element using the given index or by the value. Update. Updates an element at a given index. Matrix representation using arrays. Here, arrays are physically represented in two ways. First is row measure representation and second is column measure representation. Row measure representation. In this representation, the elements are arranged row wise. That is, the elements of row 0 are stored first, elements of row 1 are stored next, and so on. Here, an example is given of a matrix. There are total 4 rows and 3 columns. It is 4 by 3 matrix where the elements are 1, 2, 3 in the first row, 4, 5, 6 in the second row, 7, 8, 9 in the third row, and the 10, 11, 12 in the fourth row. So this is the logical view of the matrix. Actually, the matrix is stored as an array. So the physical view as a row measure representation is displayed in the diagram. As it is a row measure representation, the first row, that is row 0, is stored first. That is, the first element is 1 with the base address 1000. The second element is 2 with the address 1002. The third element is 3 and the address is 1004. Likewise, the row 1 elements are stored, that are 4, 5 and 6 and their respective addresses. Then the elements of row 2 are 7, 8 and 9 and the elements of row 3 are 10, 11 and 12. Now the column measure representation. In column measure representation, elements are arranged column wise. That is, the elements of column 0 are stored first, then the elements of column 1 are stored next, and so on. As in the previous slide, we have seen the logical view of the matrix. First, the elements of column 0 will be stored into the array. So the element of column 0 are 1, 4, 7 and 10 and their respective addresses are 1000, 1002, 1004 and 1006. Then the next column elements will be stored, that are 2, 5, 8 and 11 and their respective addresses. Next, it will store the elements of column 2, that are 3, 6, 9 and 12. Address calculation. In this, if we want to calculate the address or to find out the address of a specific element, then we can use some formula. For that, for an array int a of r, c, where r is the number of rows and c is the number of columns, the location of the element a of ij is the array can be calculated as, first we are going to see for the row measure representation. As in the previous slides, we have seen the physical view of array for row measure representation. If the user wants to calculate for the specific element, then the formula is address of a of ij is equals to the base address of the array plus I means the row, into c means the total number of columns, into element size, in plus j means the column, into element size. So as we have seen the example that we want to calculate the address of a of first row and second column. So the base address for that array is 1000 plus I means the row, that is 1, into c means the total number of columns, that are 3, plus the element size. Element size will be the size of that data type. So we have created the integer array, so the size will be 2. into size of int. Okay, so the calculation will be 3 ones are 3 plus 2, that will be 5 into 2, that is the size of int, so that will be 10. So add that 10 into the base address, that will be 1010. So that address is of the element 6. To calculate the address of a specific element in column measure representation, we will use the following formula, that is address of A of I is the row and j is the column, is equals to the base address of the array plus j into r plus I. So j is the column into r means the total number of rows present into the matrix, plus I is the rows, into the element size, that is the size of integer, that will be 2. So in the example we want to calculate the index address of the element index, that is 1 2 means first row second column, is equals to the base address is 1000 plus j means the second column into 4, that is the total number of rows present into the matrix, plus 1, that is the column row, into size of int, that is 2. So 1000 plus 4 into 2 will be 8 plus 1 9, 9 into size of int will be 2, so 9 into 2 will be 18, add 18 into 1000 which is equals to 1018, which is the address of element 6. Matrix operations. In this slide, I have shown a program where we are performing some operations on matrix. That is, we are going to insert and display the matrix. So hash include stdio.h int main, int I, j, m, n are the various variables, matrix of 10 by 10. In this, first we are going to enter the how many number of rows and how many number of columns in terms of m and n. So to input, we are in this for loop we are going to I is equals to 0 I less than m I plus plus, for j is equals to 0 j less than n j plus plus. With this we are going to, with this loops we are going to enter the matrix elements and then we are going to display the matrix. Here the output for that particular program is given, that enter how many rows, 3 rows, enter how many columns, 4 columns, and the elements are entered according to the index, that is 0 0 will be 10, 0 1 will be 2, 0 2 will be 8, and the matrix is displayed according to the user. Now what do you mean by sparse matrix? A sparse matrix is a matrix in which majority of elements are 0. An example of a sparse matrix is given. This matrix contains total 5 zeros. Since the number of 0 is more than half of the elements of the matrix, such matrix is called as a sparse matrix. A program for this sparse matrix is given, where we have created a matrix of 10 by 10 and uh, the elements are initialized at the time of array creation, where total number of rows are 3 and column are also 3, which is initialized. Then we are finding out how many total number of zeros are present. For that we are using the counter. Okay, so for I is equals to 0, I is less than row I plus plus, j is equals to 0, j is less than number of columns if the first uh, index element, that is I j, that is 0 0 is equals to 0, then it will increment the counter. If the element is not equals to 0, then it will keep that and increment the jth pointer. In the next, we are displaying the whole matrix and then the total number of zeros present into the matrix in terms of count. As if the count is greater than the non-zero elements, then it will display that this particular matrix is a sparse matrix, or otherwise it is not a sparse matrix. The output is given for this program. Thank you.